Have you ever heard the term "don't poke the bear"? I feel like that's what Sony did, and it's not going to very much end well for them. I honestly do feel like Sony went too public with their misgivings over the whole Activision situation. I feel like you don't show your weakness or make it look like you have these weaknesses where this kind of stuff is concerned. And the fact that you have the head of PlayStation saying, "Hey, we're pretty much doomed if Sony decide, if we don't get a better version of Call of Duty," or you can interpret that any way you want. They think that Microsoft might degrade Call of Duty, or make it so that not all the content is day and date, which is the most damn ironic thing I've ever heard, since Sony pays to keep content from Call of Duty off of Xbox. And make sure that they get, exclusive stuff. So again, I'm sort of in this weird kind of situation where I'm sitting here kind of shaking my head with this. But again, it is nice to see that Sony might get a little bit of the comeuppance that maybe they've been asking for. Like, I know it's one of those things. I'm not saying, I don't want Sony to go out of business. I definitely do not want Sony to go out of business. It's one of those things that I find distasteful. And, for me personally, I think that we need the competition to be there. We need Microsoft and we need Sony and we need these companies kind of doing their thing. And I would love to see them continue to do their things. But, again, with all the waves, the boat rocking that Sony's been doing, it was only a matter of time before this came up, I think, Let's get into it. I'm Crap Gamer, and this is Crap Gamer Reviews, back with another video. Thank you so much for checking it out. Please hit that like button, slap that like button, give us a like. I would appreciate that. It means a lot to me. Please, like I said, help me get to 100 likes on each of the videos. Now, a U.S. senator is asking Sony CEO to reveal PlayStation's game exclusivity deals. Kevin Kramer is the latest U.S. senator to accuse Sony of anti-competitive behavior. Wow. All this because Sony is going and crying and doing all the stuff that they do because they're being very hypocritical along the way. North Dakota Republican Senator Kevin Kramer says he sent a letter to Sony CEO Kenshiro Yoshida regarding its anti-competitive behavior and to request information to the company's acquisition agreements. In the letter, originally spotted by Axios, Kramer tells Yoshida that he is writing to express concern about Sony's efforts to protect its gaming console business from competition. He goes on to claim, "I am concerned Sony's dominance in the market and its efforts to perpetuate its current position imperils an important economic development opportunity for North Dakota." Kramer states that North Dakota has developed strategy to lead the nation in computer science and cybersecurity education, and that preparing students for careers in gaming is an important component to this effort. Given the growing significance of gaming industry to North Dakota, Kramer says, "I am troubled by reports that Sony appears to leverage its comments to exclude competition rather than enabling choice for players and developers." He adds, "Increasingly, it appears Sony's dominance is attributed to exclusionary practices, including paying game publishers not to distribute their games to rival platforms." He goes on to claim that Sony's attempt to oppose Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard is an example of its anti-competitive conduct, saying it's even more troubling that Sony's lobbying of the FTC and other regulators began shortly after Sony itself acquired Bungie. Wow, listen to that. Just absolutely, owned them, because that is 100% accurate. It's like, I get that they're different things. Both of them are publishers and Activision has a bigger back catalog, but man, that is 100% ownage right there. He ends his letter by asking Yoshida for unredacted copies of all agreements that give Sony an exclusive right to distribute a third-party game, so something like Final Fantasy XVI. All agreements between third-party publishers that prevent them from releasing games on other systems, including it in contracts. Hey, you can't release your game on Game Pass. You can't do this. You can't do that. Again, we're starting to see all of this kind of stuff come out of the woodwork. Also, all internal company documents describing the strategic rationale for Sony's decision to acquire Bungie. All correspondence with U.S. government and U.S. regulatory agencies related to video game competition. And he says, he tweeted out, "I sent Sony Corporation a letter regarding its anti-competitive behavior and to request information on the company's acquisition agreements." Now, Kramer's letter makes him the latest U.S. member of Congress to accuse Sony of anti-competitive behavior. In the last 2 months, one from 4 Republican members of Congress, the other from 6 Democrats, accused Sony of deliberately making exclusivity deals with third-party publishers to ensure that Xbox doesn't gain foothold in Japan. The letters called on U.S. Trade Representative and Commerce Secretary to raise the issue with Japan during trade talks. Both letters claim that by not acting on these alleged anti-competitive practices, Japan is effectively putting a U.S. company at a disadvantage. Sony has secured a number of third-party titles as PlayStation console exclusives over the years, some of which have come from Japanese publishers. One of the most notable examples of this is the company's ties with Square Enix, which have seen Final Fantasy VII Remake and Final Fantasy XVI excluded from Xbox entirely. Another key example from this last generation was Capcom Street Fighter V, which has remained exclusive to PS4 and PC since its release way back in 2016. As Axios noted, Microsoft has previously confirmed that its government affairs team has discussed Sony's conduct with members of Congress, which may explain the timing of these political accusations aimed at Sony. So, again, trying to put a little bit of the focus off of Microsoft themselves, which I think is needed, and then you see that they're kind of saying, hey, well, Sony is getting away with this, or Sony's getting away with that. That's kind of weird to me. Like, I always thought it was so odd that Sony was able to kind of get away with everything that they were doing, and again, I just personally feel like Microsoft has come such a long way in everything that they were able to do. And Sony is like kind of, I guess I would just want to say it seems like Sony is kind of doing this whole thing where it's like a do as I say, not as I do situation, right? Like Sony's done all this stuff in their history, and yet they want people to, help them out. And to me, it just sounds like they're trying to be incredibly anti-consumer. And, that doesn't fly with me, for whatever reason. I can't stand it. I hope that they kind of come out of this feeling a little bit, I don't want to say beat down, but maybe taken down a peg or two, in my opinion. So I would love to see that. And I would love to hear what everybody else has to say as well. You guys are super important when it comes to all this stuff. So let me know what you think. I think this is important and very interesting to see. Please have a great day. Like I said, remember to like the video, rack 'em up, fact 'em up, crap gamer 'em up. Thanks so much for watching. And as always, have a fantastic day. And thank you for watching my videos and, subscribing if you haven't already. I'm trying to do as best as I can here for everyone. So please keep that in mind. Have a great day. Rack 'em up. Crap gamer out.